It's fairly safe to say the Miami Dolphins had a down year this season. Now, another Tua head injury. He's out for multiple weeks. There was a revolving door of quarterbacks coming in and out of the lineups. And honestly, this team could just not stay healthy. Lost some games they definitely should not have lost and ultimately ended up missing the playoffs. Now, before we get to the Tyreek Hill stuff, I want to talk about the Dolphins season really quickly. Because up until that last week of the regular season, there was a chance for them to make the playoffs. They needed some things to fall their way. Obviously, it didn't fall their way. But as a Dolphins fan, I don't know if you can look at this season as a failure. It's going to be a retool offseason, maybe a move on from Tyreek Hill. I think you might need to move on from Tyreek Hill. With the injuries you guys faced, I would not be that mad if I was a Dolphins fan. So I just Googled Tyreek Hill, and these are the top stories that are popping up. First things first, he quit on the team in the fourth quarter. Absolutely insane to see Tyreek Hill do that. Next one, Tyreek Hill and 5 players who robbed the Dolphins blind. Tyreek Hill apparent refusal to play could trigger in contract showdown. What I find the most interesting, Tyreek Hill did not ask for a trade in the meeting with his GM. The reason this is kind of a weird thing, if you watch Tyreek's post-game interview from that Week 18 game that he quit on the team in, you can see he asked for a trade. He said he is done here and he is ready to go. Reading through this article right here, it doesn't look like the Dolphins think they are, ready to move on from Tyreek. For 2 reasons you make a, statement like this and then have ESPN publish an article. 1, you want a leverage play, or 2, you actually aren't trading Tyreek. Let's take a look at Tyreek Hill's stats for this season. You guys can see, obviously, again, revolving door of quarterback play. It was not a great year. He did not break 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 81 receptions. And Tyreek Hill is going to be 31 years old by the time next season starts. This is the same player who said he does not mind retiring early. So, if you were Miami, what exactly are you going to do? Yes, this season was a down year, but last season, Tyreek Hill basically had 1,800 receiving yards. The year before, he had 1,700 receiving yards. Hill can still play at an elite level, and I think the last few years in Miami shows that pretty clearly. But I mean, yeah. What exactly is going to happen with Tyreek? I think he still has a lot of gas left in the tank, but if the Dolphins do receive a solid offer from, let's say, a wide receiver needing team like the Cardinals or the Patriots or the Saints, Commanders, Steelers, this trade right here of trading George Pickens, whoever wrote this for The Athletic, I don't know what you are talking about. Either way, there could be a decent deal on the table, and would you want to move off of Tyreek's contract? Going into next season, Tyreek will be in his age 32 season, which is also the final year of his current contract. He's supposed to make over $90 million over the course of 3 years, of course, but this last year, he has a fat base salary. If you are Miami, what kind of, return would you even look for Tyreek? I think if you get offered a second, you have to take it in a heartbeat. That is what Devontae Adams went for. You might want a young asset back in return, but age 32, Tyreek Hill, on this contract, he can, either retire at the end of his age 32 season or just walk in free agency. Now, the most realistic thing I think that happens with Tyreek, I think he goes back to Miami and they see what happens next year. But come next year, the next trade deadline, I would not be shocked if Tyreek Hill is playing for a different team. Let me know down below what you guys think about the Tyreek Hill situation. Drop a like if you haven't already, and I'll catch you boys back here later. Peace, gents. Have a good one.